Well, howdy! Welcome to my pumpkin patch. I'm Farmer George McGord. Now, some people call me the Pump King because my pumpkins have taken home the blue ribbon at the county fair for 35 years in a row. Now, I think that's a little silly to make such a fuss over me. It's no secret to know when a pumpkin is ripe for the picking. You just got to ask it a Bible question. If the pumpkin knows its Bible, then it's ready to go. You can make it into a pie, paint a face on it, or enter it in pumpkin chunking competition. Whatever you need it for, it's ready. Here, I'll show you. You can help me pick out some pumpkins to take to the fair this year. I'll call out the name of a Bible character, then we'll look at 3 pumpkins with facts about that Bible character. 2 of these facts will be wrong. Those pumpkins aren't ready yet, but 1 will be correct. That pumpkin is ready for the fair. All you have to do is shout out 1, 2, or 3 for the pumpkin with the right answer. We can even make a game out of it. If you get it right, you're still in the game. If you're wrong, you can keep playing, but just take yourself a seat. We'll see who can stay standing for the whole game. Alrighty then, everybody on your feet. Let's look at our first 3 pumpkins. Yuck! Our first Bible character is Joshua. Now, which of these is true about Joshua? 1. Joshua wrote the 10 Commandments. 2. Joshua was a king. 3. Joshua led Israel. Remember, shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up! Who said pumpkin number 3? You're correct! Joshua led the Israelites into the promised land. Good job! Looks like this pumpkin is ready to go. Let's try another question. Our next Bible character is John the Baptist. Now, which of these is true about John? 1. John baptized Jesus. 2. John never ate honey. 3. John was Jesus' brother. Remember, shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up. Who said pumpkin number 1? That's right. Nice work. Looks like we've got another pumpkin ready to go. Let's check out 3 more pumpkins. Now our Bible character is Gideon. Now, which of these is true about Gideon? 1. Gideon led an army of 300 men. 2. Gideon was a prophet. 3. Gideon was king of Israel. Remember, shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up! Who said pumpkin number 1? That's right again! You really know your Bible, and so does this pumpkin. Let's take a look at 3 more pumpkins. Our next Bible character is Solomon. Now, which of these is true about Solomon? 1. Solomon was David's father. 2. Solomon was David's son. 3. Solomon was David's brother. Shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up! Who said pumpkin number 2? That's correct! Solomon was David's son and became king of Israel after David. Great work, everybody! All right, we've got 3 more pumpkins to check out. Our next Bible character is Elijah. Now, which of these is true about Elijah? 1. God fed Elijah with kangaroos. 2. God fed Elijah with lions. 3. God fed Elijah with ravens. Shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up. Who said pumpkin number 3? You are correct. When Elijah was hiding in the wilderness, God sent ravens to bring him food. Well done. All right, we've only got one more set of pumpkins to check out. Our final Bible character is Abel. Now, which of these is true about Abel? 1. Abel was Adam's son. 2. Abel is not in the Bible. 3. Abel was one of the 12 disciples. Shout out 1, 2, or 3 based on which pumpkin you think is correct. Okay, time's up. Who said pumpkin number 1? You are correct. Great job, everybody. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I could go for some pumpkin pie right about now.
Oh man, these are going to be amazing. They're going to love them. I know they will. I know they're going to love them. I know because I love them. And they're the best. Hey everybody, and welcome Ringo Kids, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you can't already tell, I am really excited. Yep, I'm excited. I have guests coming over today, and we're making snacks. I'm excited because I am making some of my favorite all-time snack. I'm making chocolate peanut butter snack crackers with Almond Joy candy on top. Those look great, don't they? If you can't tell, I made them up myself, and they're my all-time favorite. I hope they like them too. I think they will. Who doesn't like chocolate and peanut butter? With even more chocolate, right? All month long, we've been talking about individuality. God made us with individuality. Individuality is discovering who you're meant to be so that you can make a difference. Listen, there's only one you, and you are created in God's image. And with God's help, you can make the most of all those things that make you special and unique. You can use the unique way God made you to make a difference for other people. Like I am with our friends today. I'm excited. These cookies are going to be amazing. Well, in today's story, we're going to be talking about a woman named Lydia. She loved God but didn't really know how to serve him. And a man named Paul, we've heard of him before, right? He found her and her friends next to a river singing to the Lord. Lydia was changed by the story of Paul, and it made a difference in the way she treated other people. So hang out with us today as we see how God used Lydia to make a difference in other people's lives. It's going to be really good, but I think I better taste this first. What do you think? They're perfect. They're going to love it.
And finally, the gummy fish. That's individuality for you. Individuality is discovering who you're meant to be so you can make a difference. Here's one thing I've discovered about myself. I have a very special gift. I'm kind of an expert at finding the perfect candy combinations. For instance, everyone knows that chocolate and peanut butter goes well together. But did you know that sour worms and cherry starburst together will make your head spin? But my most favorite combination is the one I'm working on right now. I start with sour candy. Oh, I love it so much. But too much sour can be a bad thing. So, to balance it out, chocolate covered raisins. They take some of the punch out of the sour. And plus, they used to be grapes, so healthy. Then, the gummy fish. Of course, these are key because they stick to your teeth, so you know you'll be tasting them for at least another hour. You see that? I used my gift of candy combining to really make a difference in my life. Now I have all these perfect little bags that I can enjoy for weeks to come. Or at least a couple of days. I'm going to eat so much candy. So much candy. I wonder if there's a better way for me to use my gift. One that won't make me sick or cost me a fortune at the dentist. You know, our story today is about a woman named Lydia. She had a very special gift too, and we're going to learn how she used it. So much candy. I'll see you soon.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 16, verses 13 through 15.
Lydia of Thyatira was a remarkable woman. Her city was known for its craftsmen, especially those who made and sold expensive purple dye.
Take a look. I use only the finest snail shells.
Though most successful people in business were men, Lydia learned the craft of purple dye. And when she traveled to the Roman city of Philippi, she set up a business selling rare, expensive purple cloth.
Please note, we have lilac, plum, iris, lavender, and grape fabric laid out. And over here you'll find amethyst, eggplant, and orchid.
Lydia had likely been raised to believe in many false gods, but in her heart, she knew there was something more.
The Jewish people believe in just one God. What if they're right?
The city of Philippi had laws against bringing any unknown religion into the city. But Lydia would meet outside the city gates on the riverbank with a group of women who believed in the one true God.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Love Him with all your strength.
Lydia and the other women had never heard of Jesus. But as they began to seek God together, God sent a vision to someone else, the Apostle Paul, who was staying in the Greek city of Troas.
Dream. It was so vivid. I saw a man standing right here begging me. He said, "Come over to Macedonia. Help us."
Immediately, Paul and his friends set sail. Within a few days, they reached land and traveled to Philippi, one of the most important cities in Macedonia.
So we just start by finding a synagogue of Jewish believers, right?
I don't think there is a synagogue here.
On the Sabbath, a day of worship, Paul and his friends went down to the river, hoping to find a place of prayer.
Shall we gather at the river?
Excuse me.
Hi there. Do you wish to join us? We're praying to the one true God.
Absolutely.
There, by the river, Paul told the story of Jesus and how anyone who chose to follow Jesus could have a relationship with God that lasts forever.
But this is amazing. This changes everything.
The Lord opened Lydia's heart to believe every word of Paul's message.
I wish to be baptized. At once.
Not only was Lydia baptized, but she immediately shared the good news with her family and everyone who lived and worked in her home. And they too were baptized. Lydia gathered Paul and his friends.
Do you consider me a believer in the Lord? If you do, come and stay at my house.
We would be honored.
As a successful businesswoman, Lydia's house was likely large and beautiful.
We must meet here from now on.
Lydia did not hesitate to give everything she had to the believers in the brand new church. And when Paul and Silas were later thrown in prison and then released, they immediately returned to Lydia's home to rest and prepare before they left the city.
You must be brave.
Of course we will. Don't forget to write.
Later, Paul did write a letter to Lydia and others in the church of Philippi, and he remembered his time spent in Lydia's home and the church there with great joy.
I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy. I'm happy because you have joined me in spreading the good news. God began a good work in you, and I am sure that he will carry it on until it is completed.
In everything she did, Lydia continued to use her gifts to help others.
Okay, so everyone has at least one gift, right? Something they can do really well. And it doesn't have to be something flashy, like being an amazing singer. You could be good at baking, swimming, finding things that are lost, talking very, 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 very fast, making people laugh, identifying different species of birds. It's a blue-throated macaw. Lydia's gift was that she was good at business. She knew how to make money by selling things that people wanted. She sold purple cloth. I wonder if she sold a coat like this. Probably not. Whether you know it or not, you have a gift. You may even have more than one. But what your gifts are isn't as important as how you use them. Lydia used the money she made in her business to provide a place to stay for the Apostle Paul and his friends. She used her gifts to help others. And Jesus was constantly teaching people, healing people, and loving people. He used his gifts to help others too. That's what we should do. When we're good at something, we shouldn't just use it to help ourselves or to make ourselves look good. God gave us our gifts, and we should share them with other people. That's the one thing to remember today. Use your gifts to help others. So I think I'm gonna share these bags of candy instead of keeping them all to myself. And not only that, I bet I can use my gift to help other people find their favorite candy combinations. I could go into business like Lydia. Whew. This idea is making my head spin. I'll see you next time. Now, what candy goes well with Chica Sticks?
Wow, wasn't it amazing to hear what happened when Lydia met Paul? And I love the way how God opened Lydia's heart to believe in Jesus. And it was so cool how Lydia was quick to offer her home to Paul and his friends. But it does make sense that Lydia would want to put others first like that, because that's how Jesus lived every single day of his life. When Jesus was on earth, he was constantly teaching people, healing people, and loving people. He was always helping others. And remember, that's something each of us can do. And it's our bottom line. It says this: use your gifts to help other people. Use your gifts to help others. Boy, that makes sense, doesn't it? If I needed help, I know I want my friends and the people around me to be willing to use their gifts to give me a hand. We all need each other, so I want to use my gifts to help the people around me too. And that's a great way that I can treat others the way I want to be treated. If you feel like you don't know what your gifts are, don't worry. Just think of something you're good at or something you like to do. Think about the ways that you're kind and generous to other friends. God created each of us with individuality and gave us different ways to help other people. That is so cool. Speaking of how God created each of you, let's recap our memory verse found in Psalm 139, verse 14. And say it with me, okay? It goes like this. How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful, and I know that very well. Great job. All right, you guys are gifted, wonderfully made, loving, and helpful people. But it's time to bring our time to an end. I'll see you next week as we continue our series about individuality. And I look forward to seeing what we come up with next week. Okay, guys? All right, I will see you next week. Bye, everyone. I've got to make the rest of my cookies before my guests come, okay? All right, see you all. Bye.
Dear God, benevolent. That is the word that I think of when I think of how you made me. Sometimes I don't realize how much you've given me, and I'm sorry for that. Like my writing, or my manuscripts. You know, my notebooks are everywhere, and filled with my ideas, my stories, and just anything that I'm thinking about. I try to take them everywhere, so I can write even when I have a few minutes of time to myself at school. But I never really thought it was anything extraordinary or unprecedented. I guess I thought everybody else did it too, or at least could if they wanted. When Jenna found my latest notebook, I was nervous, angry, frightened, and even a little bit anxious. I really didn't write things in there for anyone else to see. But when she smiled at me, it was a relief to my soul. Did you know? I mean, of course you know. Jenna had this idea for us to work on a book together. It's a storybook for kids. She's going to do the illustrations and I'm writing the story. This is amazing, marvelous, unbelievable. God, thanks for giving me the ability to write. Please let me learn and grow as a writer and do this for the rest of my life. Amen. Love, Rebecca.